Well, hello everyone, and in this video we are going to cover the most important part of this chapter, that is atoms and molecule का बहुत ही important part हम cover करने वाले हैं, that is your mole concept. So in our first video we have covered the basic part of this chapter and चलिए start करते हैं. Before I start the mole concept, I want कि हम छोटे छोटे टर्म्स को थोड़ा बहुत ही अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर लेते हैं, बहुत ही डिटेल में इनको समझ लेते हैं. तो सबसे पहली चीज जो हमें समझना है वो है ग्राम एटॉमिक मास एंड ग्राम मॉलिक्यूलर मास. तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं ग्राम एटॉमिक मास की. सो व्हाट इज ग्राम एटॉमिक मास? द अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस इन ग्राम which is numerically equal to the atomic mass of that substance is known as gram atomic mass of that substance. Well, I think you might have known that if I ask you what is the atomic mass of sodium. So if I ask you the atomic mass of sodium, you will simply say that the atomic mass of sodium is 23 U or 23 AMU. Alright, so this is the mass of one atom. And if I talk about gram atomic mass, तो ग्राम एटॉमिक मास क्या होगा गाइस? द एटॉमिक मास ऑफ एन एलिमेंट व्हेन एक्सप्रेस्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ग्राम. अगर मैं उसको ग्राम के अंदर रिप्रेजेंट करता हूं तो दैट would be termed as gram atomic mass. Now the most important thing comes is why the atomic mass is termed in the form of gram. तो ग्राम में क्यों करते हैं? तो ग्राम में क्यों करते हैं इसको मैं और आगे बहुत ही अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करूंगा, बट अभी के लिए this gram atomic mass is basically defined for 1 mole of atom. एक मोल के लिए डिफाइन करा जाता है एंड 1 मोल जो होता है वो एक सिंपल मेजरिंग यूनिट है which occupy the number that is 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 atoms या particles. Alright, so एक मोल के लिए डिफाइन होता है आपका ग्राम, राइट? तो आई थिंक ये बात समझ में आ चुकी होगी कि why we are considering the mass of an atom in form of gram. जब भी हम एक मोल एटम के बारे में या एक मोल पार्टिकल के बारे में बात करेंगे तो we are going to term the atomic mass as gram atomic mass. I think this is clear now. So now let's jump on to the molar mass or the molecular mass. So we have already discussed that the molecular mass when expressed in gram, ये चीज हमने आगे वाले पहले वाले वीडियो में भी देखा है कि जब भी मैं अगर किसी भी मॉलिक्यूल के मास को इन टर्म्स ऑफ ग्राम रिप्रेजेंट करता हूं तो इट वुड बी टर्म्ड एज ग्राम मॉलिक्यूलर मास और वी कैन सिंपली से दैट इट इज अ मोलर मास. बट यहां पर भी सेम ही कॉन्सेप्ट लगने वाला है. इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 1 मोल पार्टिकल्स, अगर मैं एक मोल पार्टिकल्स के बारे में बात कर रहा हूं देन ओनली आई हैव टू रिप्रेजेंट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ग्राम, और else I have to represent in the form of U or AMU. That's it. So if I take an example, what is the molecular mass of H2SO4? तो H2SO4 का अगर मुझे molecular mass निकालना है, so it will be like the mass of one hydrogen atom is 1 into the atomicity is 2 of hydrogen plus sulphur. The mass of sulphur is 32 plus oxygen we have 16 atomic mass multiply by 4, that is its atomicity. So if I take a look at 2 plus 32 plus 16 multiply by 4, that is equal to 64, and if I sum it up so it will be equal to 98 U. Alright, so this is the mass of one molecule of H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid. Alright, but if I ask you about the mass of 1 mole of sulfuric acid, then the numerical digit will be same, but the unit is going to be changed as 1 mole of H2SO4 equals to 98 gram. That's it. So we have to just write gram over it. So whenever the mass of a molecule is represented in the form of gram, अगर हम ग्राम के अंदर represent करते हैं then you can simply understand that we are talking about 1 mole particle. हम एक मोल पार्टिकल के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और कितने नंबर होते हैं? 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 particles present होते हैं. Alright, so let us take an example. The atomic mass of sodium is 23 U, as I already discussed. So the molar mass of the element sodium is equal to 23 gram per mole. 23 ग्राम पर मोल होगा इसका मास. पर मोल क्यों? एक मोल के अंदर 23 ग्राम है। तो हमें अगर नंबर ऑफ मोल्स के बेसिस पे निकालना है तो वी कैन सिंपली कैलकुलेट with the help of this formula. Alright, now moving on. Now we are going to discuss about the mole. बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है गाइस। तो सबसे पहले देखते हैं सिंपल डेफिनेशन से। So mole is defined as the amount of substance that contains the same number of unit. एक अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस जिसके अंदर सेम नंबर ऑफ यूनिट हो सकती है, और यूनिट क्या क्या होती हैं, लाइक एटम्स, मॉलिक्यूल्स या पार्टिकल या किसी भी आयंस के बारे में अगर हम बात करें, as they are in the exactly 12 gram of C12 atom. I think this definition is complex, but to be very frank, mole is just a measuring unit, और ये मेजर करने के काम आती है very microscopic particle like atoms, ions, radicals, molecules and all. Alright, so this number is called Avogadro number, और इस नंबर को हम बोलते हैं Avogadro number, or we can say that 1 mole of any substance contain Avogadro number of chemical unit. Now this is very simple. एक मोल किसी भी सब्सटेंस के अंदर इतने नंबर ऑफ एवोगैड्रो नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल होने वाले हैं. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी सिंपल. किसी भी सब्सटेंस के अंदर एक मोल के अंदर हमेशा 6.022 और 6.023 इतने नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल ही होने वाले हैं, एंड दिस नंबर is called as Avogadro number and is represented by capital N and capital A, where A is written in the subscript. Alright, but the vital question is, where does this number comes from? ये नंबर आया कहाँ से है? Guys, this number is a experimental data. ये एक्सपेरिमेंट करके एक डेटा निकाला गया है, and we don't have to focus on this number because ये एक experimentally given value है, and इस वैल्यू को दिया था आपके एक बहुत ही वेल नोन साइंटिस्ट ने, अमिगियो एवोगैड्रो ने, और इसीलिए इस नंबर को वी टर्म्ड एज एवोगैड्रोस कांस्टेंट और एवोगैड्रोस नंबर. नाउ वी विल अंडरस्टैंड द मोल कॉन्सेप्ट इन मोर डिटेल. सो फ्रॉम द मोल कॉन्सेप्ट वी कैन कंडक्ट दैट 1 gram of atom of any substance is equivalent to 1 mole of atom of that substance and contains Avogadro number of atom. So let me write this and you will get a better idea. So 1 gram of any substance, let's say 1 gram of X, will contain 1 mole atom, will always contain 1 mole atom of X, and will always contain this 1 gram of substance X or 1 mole of atom X will always contain Avogadro's number of atom. I think this is completely clear, and the second point is same. 1 gram of molecule, if I talk about molecule, so 1 gram of molecule of any substance, 1 gram molecule of let's say X2 molecule है कोई हमारे पास, इसके अंदर भी we have 1 mole of molecule, 1 mole of molecule X, इसके अंदर भी we have Avogadro number of molecules. I think this is completely clear. तो ये सब चीजें एक्सपेरिमेंटली है. वी कैन नॉट लुक एट दिस माइक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल बिकॉज हम एक सिंगल एटम को अभी तक नहीं देख पाए. वी कैन नॉट, वी आर नॉट एबल टू सी द एटम टिल डेट. वी आर नॉट एबल टू see this with the help of even most powerful microscope. So these things are experimental data and we have to follow all these things only. All right, now moving on. So molar mass को हम represent करने की कोशिश करते हैं. अब क्या होता है? So the molar mass of the substance is the mass of 1 mole. As I already told you, whenever the mass of any atom or molecule is expressed in the form of gram, then that means we are talking about Avogadro's number of atoms or Avogadro number of particles. अगर मैं बोलता हूँ 1 mole of sodium atom, that means I am talking about 1 mole of atom, that means 6.022 atoms of Avogadro's of sodium atom. Now we are going to talk about molar mass. Now molar mass is something whenever we express the mass of an element or a compound or a molecule in terms of grams. That means right now we are talking about 1 mole or mole numbers of atoms or particles. For example, अगर मैं आपको बोलता हूँ that 1 mole of sodium atom, that means I am talking about 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 atoms of sodium. So I think that's a very huge number. और एक अगर सिंगल एटम का मास एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं हम यू में या AMU में, then we have to express the mass of this huge number in terms of gram. I think this is now completely clear. Now let's head on to the next thing, that is we can term mole in three different categories. Mole can be termed in the form of, let's say let's head on to the next clean page. So here we are going to learn about mole, and we are going to learn about mole in three different ways. Mole in terms of mass, mole in terms of number, and mole in terms of volume. So in this chapter we are going to cover this thing, and to be very frank, this will help you out till class 11th and 12th. ये class 11th and 12th तक भी आपको बहुत ज़्यादा useful रहने वाला है. So in very short, if I explain, mole in terms of mass means whenever the mass of the element or a compound or any other particle is expressed in the form of gram, that means that at that moment of time I'm talking about 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 atom. That means Avogadro number of atom के बारे में मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. So I can simply say that whenever the mass of any element is expressed in grams, it is called mole in terms of mass. For example, if I talk 1 mole of sodium atom, the mass of 1 mole of sodium atom is mass of 1 mole of sodium atom. So it will be equal to 23 gram. Similarly, if I ask you the mass of 1 mole of magnesium atom, the mass of 1 mole of potassium atom, so I just have to write K over here instead of sodium, and the mass of 1 potassium atom is 39U. So the mass of 1 mole of potassium atom is equal to the 39, which is the numerical value is going to be same, and gram. I just have to put gram because at that moment of time I am talking about Avogadro number. So Na के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ, 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 atoms के बारे में मैं बात कर रहा हूँ आप लोगों से. Alright, so I think we are done with this part. So let's understand this with the help of the example. 1 mole of hydrogen atom. So if I express in the terms of gram, so मुझे पता है that the mass of 1 hydrogen atom is 1 AMU, and if I talk about 1 mole of hydrogen atom, that means I just have to add gram only, because at that moment of time I'm talking about Avogadro number. तो ये क्या हो गया? The mass of 1 mole of hydrogen atom is equal to 1 gram of hydrogen. It's very simple, I think. Alright, now let's head on to the next thing, that is mole in terms of number. So 1 mole will always contain 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. In many books, it is written as 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23. So the number is very similar, so you don't have to worry about this thing. So moles in terms of number can be represented as the 1 mole, it will always contain 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. I guess this is very simple. 1 mole, this is very much important, just write it down. 1 mole will always contain 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 particles. Now this is going to be very simple and very useful for you guys. So if I ask you 1 mole के अंदर अगर इतने number of atoms होते हैं, 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 atom होते हैं, so can you tell me the number of atom present in 3 mole? So you just have to do one thing, 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 multiply by 3, which is going to be 18.066 into 10 raised to the power 23. Alright, so this is going to be the number of atoms in 3 moles, or we can simply write it as 3Na. Alright, so this is how we represent mole in terms of number. Now, so 1 mole of hydrogen atom will have 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23 hydrogen atom. So you don't have to worry about this 3 or 2. This is on the 1000th place. तो हमें कोई दिक्कत लेने वाली बात नहीं है, बहुत similar value आने वाली है. Alright. So 1 mole of carbon atom. Let's talk about another example. 1 mole of carbon atom का mass. The mass of 1 carbon atom is 12 AMU. So the mass of 1 mole of carbon atom is going to be 12 gram. Is it? It is very simple now, I think. Now, more if I talk about mole in terms of number, so 1 mole of carbon atom will always contain this much number. This much number, that is Avogadro number ही होने वाले हैं. It is a experimental data, तो हमें ज़्यादा इधर उधर का टेंशन लेने वाली बात बिल्कुल नहीं होने वाली है. थर्ड थिंग इज 1 मोल ऑफ सोडियम क्लोराइड एटम. यहाँ पर हमें एक मॉलिक्यूल दिया हुआ है. अब मुझे यहाँ पर मॉलिक्यूल एक एक के एटम निकालने हैं, तो वी कैन सिंपली कैलकुलेट दैट थिंग. सो the mass of one sodium chloride atom is 58.5 AMU. All right. So if I talk about the mass of 1 mole of sodium chloride, it is going to be 58.5 gram, because I'm talking about Avogadro number of atoms right now. And if I talk about mole in terms of number, so if I ask you guys, can you tell me the number of particles? Can you tell me the number of molecules sodium chloride will have in 1 mole? So you just have to say Avogadro number of molecule. But if I ask you, can you tell me the sodium atom which are present in sodium chloride molecule? Then you can simply have to identify the atomicity. So here you can simply say that NaCl. Here sodium, the atomicity is 1, and chlorine is atomicity, its atomicity is also 1. And right now I am asking about number of atom in this molecule, number of sodium atom in this sodium chloride molecule. So it is going to be Na, that is your Avogadro number, and of Na. And if I ask you, so Avogadro number of chlorine atom will be present in 1 mole of sodium chloride molecule. I think this is very simple. एक मोल के अंदर हमेशा इतने नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल होंगे, और एक मॉलिक्यूल के अंदर डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द एटॉमिसिटी. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई आस्क यू H2SO4 है, सो अगर मैं आप लोगों से पूछूं द नंबर ऑफ 1 मोल ऑफ H2SO4 विल हैव कितने नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल, सो यू विल से इसके अंदर मॉलिक्यूल होंगे Avogadro नंबर, राइट. But if I ask you the atoms of hydrogen present in 1 mole of H2SO4, so you have to calculate, you have to identify the atomicity. Here the atomicity of sulfur hydrogen is 2. All right. So 1 mole contains 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 hydrogen atom, right. तो यहाँ पर कितने हाइड्रोजन एटम है H2SO4 के अंदर? 2. So it will be equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 into 2, because the atomicity is 2. So it is going to be 12.044 into 10 raised to the power 23. I think this is completely clear to you guys now. All right. Now let's head on to the question. So here the question says that calculate the number of moles in 16 gram of sulfur. You have to calculate the number of mole in 16 gram of sulfur. Now that's a very simple question. Here the atomic mass of sulfur is given as 32 U. So I know that 1 mole of sulfur, the mass of 1 sulfur atom is equal to 32 U. Then the mass of 1 mole of sulfur atom equals to 32. The numerical value is going to be same, gram. All right. So the mass of 1 mole of sulfur atom is equal to 32 gram. Here the mass of, I have to identify the number of moles. So X mole of sulfur atom will have 16 gram. तो मुझे mass given है, तो I have to find the number of mole. So I can simply calculate this by the unitary method. So एक मोल का मास अगर 32 है, तो 16 ग्राम कितना मोल का होगा? तो 16 by 2, 32 equals to 1 by 2, that is equals to 0.5. So the mass of 0.45 moles will have the mass of 16 gram. I think this is very simple question. सभी को पता चल जाएगा होगा that एक मोल का मास अगर 32 है, तो 16 ग्राम कितने मोल का मास होगा? So I have to use the unitary method. So 1 मोल का मास 32 ग्राम है, तो 16 ग्राम कितने मोल्स का मास होगा? अगर मैं मार्केट जाता हूं, मैं अगर आपसे बोलता हूं कि अगर मैं मार्केट से 5 पेंसिल लेकर आया और एक पेंसिल की प्राइस है 2 रुपीज, सो मैंने कितने रुपए खर्च करे होंगे. So you can simply say that 5 pencil I have bought and multiply by the price of each pencil. So it is going to be 2 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 10 rupees I have spent. तो simply हमें यहाँ पर भी unitary method ही लगाना है. So from here I can simply derive a formula. So if I have to calculate the number of moles, if I have to calculate the number of moles, I can simply calculate it by given mass, कितना मास मुझे given है, upon molar mass. Molar mass, what is the molar mass of the element or the compound is, right? So I can now solve this question. The given mass is 16 gram. I have to calculate the number of moles in 16 gram upon 32 gram is the molar mass of sulphur. So I can simply get from here is 1 by 2. So the number of moles N equals to 1 by 2, that is half. So half mole will have 16 gram of sulphur. All right. I think this is a very simple question now. Now let's head to the next question. So the question says that the number of carbon atom in 1 gram of CaCO3 is. So in this question we have to find out the number of carbon atom. But here the condition is we don't have to find the number of carbon atom in 1 mole. We have to find the number of carbon atom in 1 gram. All right. So if I talk you about 1 mole, the mass of 1 mole of CaCO3, so the mass of calcium is 40 plus carbon is 12 plus oxygen is 12 into 3 because the atomicity is 3. So it is going to be 100 gram. So the mass of 1 mole equals to 100 gram. So 1 gram will be equal to be the mass of 0.01 mole. I guess this is now completely right. So you just have to place the formula. Number of mole can be calculated by given mass, that is 1 upon molar mass. So it is going to be 0.01. All right. So now we have the number of moles. So we have to find the number of carbon atom in 0.01 mole. So 0.01 mole will have 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23. ये तो होते हैं एक मोल के अंदर. So if I have to count the number of particle or number of atom of each element in this number of mole, so how it is possible for me? So I can simply do a unitary method again. When 1 mole equals to 6.023 to 23 10 raised to the power 23, एक मोल के अंदर अगर इतने एटम्स होते हैं तो 0.01 मोल के अंदर कितने होंगे? Guys, this is very simple. So I can simply say that अगर मैं इसको डिवाइड कर देता हूं या मल्टीप्लाई कर देता हूं 6.022 इंटू 10 रेज़ टू पावर 23, मुझे एक एटम के अंदर पता है, एक मोल के अंदर इतना नंबर ऑफ एटम होते हैं, तो मुझे अगर ये मल्टीप्लाई कर देता हूं 0.01 मोल को, तो आई कैन सिंपली गेट द आंसर. सो आई कैन गेट 6.022 into 10 raised to power 21. Now this is very simple. I just have to multiply this thing. वापस से अगर हम पेंसिल वाला ही एग्जांपल लेते हैं तो मैं सिंपली उसका आंसर निकाल सकता हूं. ऑलराइट, सो ऑप्शन बी विल बी अ राइट आंसर, दैट number of carbon atom in 1 gram is equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 21. Guys, अगर यहां पर 100 ग्राम के अंदर होता तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी, एक मोल का मास ही 100 ग्राम है, तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी अवोगाड्रो नंबर ओनली. अगर 1000 ग्राम के अंदर होता तो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 24. I guess this is now clear to you. Now let's do one thing. यहाँ के लिए भी हम एक फॉर्मूला बना लेते हैं. So if I have to calculate the number of moles, I can simply calculate it by dividing the given number of particle, let's say given number of particle divided by Avogadro number. So I can get the number of particle by simply multiplying it by number of moles. All right. So in short, if I have to write, number of mole is represented by small n, and I can represent number of particle by capital N and Avogadro number. So this is going to be the formula if I have to calculate number of particles. That means if I have to calculate mole in terms of numbers. All right. So now we have two formulas. I can simply write it over here. I can calculate number of moles by simply dividing given mass upon molar mass, or I can use this formula as well, number of particles upon Avogadro number. Also, I can relate these two formula as well. So let's do one thing. We'll quickly learn about the third part as well, that is mole in terms of volume as well. फिर हम इन तीनों फॉर्मूला को एक साथ मर्ज कर भी देख लेंगे. All right, so this question is for you. You can simply take the screenshot of this and you can practice this. So the question is the number of gram atom in 8 gram of helium. So आपको number of moles बताना है बस यहाँ पर. So gram atom, that means number of moles you have to calculate. अगर 8 gram helium के अंदर कितने होंगे? Now this question is very simple. 1 mole के अंदर अगर 4 gram होता है helium, तो 8 gram कितने के अंदर होगा? So the answer is going to be 2 only. So now let's jump on to the next thing, that is gram molecular volume. We have learned about gram atomic mass, gram molecular mass, that is your molar mass only, and now we will discuss about gram molecular volume, because volumes are only covered for the gases. हम gases के बारे में ही बात करते हैं. So now let's start this. 1 gram molecule of any dry gas, conditions are written over here. So 1 gram molecule of any dry gas at STP, STP is standard temperature and pressure, occupies the same volume. Now we are also given over here is 22.4 liter volume ही होने वाला है. So if I talk about in a simple manner, 1 mole of any dry gas at STP will have the volume equals to 22.4 liter. 22.4 liter ही उसकी volume होने वाली है. And if I talk in that form in the terms of decimeter, so 1 mole of any dry gas at STP will have 22.4 liter decimeter cube. इसकी volume इतनी होने वाली है. Alright, so this is very simple. This is called gram molecular volume or GMW. I repeat, GMW. Alright, so example के form में हम लेते हैं 1 gram molecule of dry gas chlorine. Dry chlorine gas occupies 22.4 liter at STP. क्योंकि the gram molecular weight of chlorine is 71 gram, so we can simply understand that 71 gram of chlorine occupies itni. So what I am written over here is 1 mole. If I talk about 1 mole of oxygen atom का mass होता है guys 32 gram, because the mass of one oxygen atom is 16 AMU. So the mass of O2 molecule will be 32 AMU, and I am talking about 1 mole, that is 32 G. So 1 mole of oxygen atom will have volume equals to, इसकी volume कितनी होने वाली है? So the volume equals to 22.4 liter. Alright, ये STP condition है, that is standard temperature and pressure, that is your room temperature 298 Kelvin, 273 Kelvin, और साथ में 1 atmospheric pressure और 1 bar. Alright, now I can relate all these two equation. So 1 mole का mass कितना होता है? 32 gram of oxygen gas will have 22.4 liter volume. Now this is very simple. This is very simple. So now what I'm going to do in the last section is I will arrange these three formulas, mole in terms of mass, mole in terms of number and mole in terms of volume, in a simple manner, और तीनों को मैं एक साथ relate कर भी दिखा देता हूँ आपको. So I can calculate moles in the form of three formulas. Let's say given mass upon molar mass, साथ में मैं number के form में निकालना है, तो given number of particles upon Avogadro number, or I can simply calculate it with the given volume upon molar volume. Alright, so these three formula, with the help of these three formula I can calculate anything. So let's say if I've given with the mass, अगर मुझे mass given है किसी substance का, तो I know the molar mass also. Alright, and I've given with the Avogadro number as well, because ये सब चीजें standard होती है. Let's take an example. If I've given a question like you are given with a 32 gram of oxygen atom. आपको 32 ग्राम ऑक्सीजन एटम दिया हुआ है एंड यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट द नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल प्रेजेंट इन 32 ग्राम ऑफ ऑक्सीजन एटम. So you can simply calculate the number of particles by comparing these two formulas. So the mass given is 32 gram. Also, you know the oxygen atom. All right, it is written as O only. So you know the mass of 1 mole of oxygen atom is 16. Also, you know about the Avogadro number, and you have to calculate this number of particles. All you can do is 2 Na. So the number of particles is going to be Na. Number of particles equals to 2 Na. That is your 2 into 2 multiplied by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, or we can simply write 12.044 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. I think this is completely clear to you guys. I hope you understood the 3 different measures of moles. Mole in terms of mass, mole in terms of number, and mole in terms of volume. I hope you understood this as well. So you can relate all these things. हम ये सब चीजें relate कर सकते हैं and can simply make a formula which I have already made. Alright, so these thing is 1 mole of bromine liquid. Now if I talk about 1 mole liquid के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ, that means अब मैं यहाँ पर similarly बता सकता हूँ bromine के अंदर भी number of particle इतने होने वाले हैं, and the mass is going to be 160 gram only, because the mass of 1 bromine atom is 160 U. Alright, so अगर मैं तीनों के फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट करता हूं तो 1 mole of chlorine gas, 1 mole of chlorine gas will have 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 chlorine atom. 1 mole of chlorine gas will have equals to the mass 71 gram, and 1 mole of chlorine atom will have 22.4 liter of volume at STP. So I think this is completely clear to you guys. What I want is I want you guys to practice a lot of questions. बहुत सारे questions को practice करें, and if you find any difficulty then you can get in touch with us. Alright, so that's all for mole concept. I want you guys to remember these terminologies and these formulas and practice a lot, because this is going to be very useful for your higher standard as well. I hope you understood everything in this video. चलिए मिलते हैं next video में. Bye bye.